And I'm back. Hi. So, I recently did a generalized intro to Britney Spears' The Woman in Me book review. And I didn't really go into a lot of depth or anything on it. And to be honest, I had thought I was just going to leave it as is and let people read the book and make their own opinions. But the more I thought about it and remembering all the comments and stuff that were done after the book was released, and the whole, let's face it, that whole elephant in the room about Justin and Britney getting pregnant and Justin Timberlake saying, basically convincing Britney to have an at-home abortion so that nobody would know that she had gotten pregnant. I kind of wanted to touch on that because I remember the comments and especially the backlash that came at Justin Timberlake. And I honestly don't think that Britney meant for that type of backlash to get to go at Justin the way it did. I think with her book, it's more of she just wanted to get her own story, her own voice after everything about her had been controlled and monitored. And I mean, maybe she did realize what type of backlash she would get, but I don't think she had any malicious intent by telling her story. But I think it was something, to be honest, I think that was one of the starts of her going for things going that the way they did, because she had to hide that, because she couldn't talk to it about it, and then of course she had to deal with everything, her and Justin breaking up and being in the public eye. I don't think she ever got the help she needed to deal with something like that, because abortion on a woman's body, young or old, is a hard thing, and it's something that needs to be monitored closely, because the risks of that are ridiculously high. It doesn't matter if you're gonna get an abortion or anything in that nature, you need to have a medical person on hand, and then afterwards you need to have a therapist or some kind of like trauma person on it. And I mean, they were young, and there's certain things, certain facts that I think need to be said, because although I personally think that Justin was very wrong to ask Britney to get an abortion, and doing it the way he did. Because here's the thing, a pregnancy in celebrities, that can be twisted, that can be twisted to a semi-good thing. It can be used later. The backlash of that will pass, and you can still have your image, what have you. But what I don't think they understood is that the risk to Britney at that time, if things had gone badly, like if Britney had had complications, if that medication, because that's a powerful medication no matter where you get it. I've read about that medication, and I know people who have taken that medication. that is dangerous. And that honestly could have caused complications where that could have killed Britney Spears. And here's the thing. Your career, your image, it can come back from a pregnancy. It can. There are so many celebrities and stuff that are so many examples of that, okay? For crying out loud, look at what happened to Jamie Lynn Spears. She's just one example, and I'm using her as an example because, well, she's kind of close. She's a person that is part of the Spears family, but the thing is that if that situation had gone any other way, and Britney Spears had died because of the choice, because they wanted to keep the image that they had, if she had died, Justin Timberlake's career would have been completely over. Like, he would not have been able to come back from that, because someone dies, they do an investigation, they would have found the pills, the autopsy, questions would have been asked, and that scandal would have came out. And then Justin Timberlake would have never, Justin Timberlake's name would have become blacklisted, is what would have happened. Now, I say all this, and again, I don't think it was right of him because of what could have happened, but I also want to say this. Justin Timberlake, unfortunately, a lot of people wanted him to be a frontman. The people who were part of his career, they wanted him as a frontman. They put so much on Justin Timberlake's image and stuff that for someone who's young and for someone who's in the business and who wants to make it in the business, they put pressure on Justin Timberlake to keep a certain image, to capitalize on a certain image. So, although it doesn't make it right at all, I can sort of understand somewhat of the thinking at the time. The thing is that Justin Timberlake is an example of what happens when you put so much pressure on having to have this certain image, this, like, that you need to keep things a certain way, that sometimes I honestly question if, like Britney, Justin, even though he was in a boy band, what set the problem with the boy band he was in is that they were putting Justin in the spotlight instead of doing what Backstreet Boys did and giving everybody as equal time as they could. And honestly, I really think that's why NSYNC fell apart like they did. Not pointing fingers. But we do need to keep in mind that Justin was young. He was easily manipulated into needing to keep his image in order to make it in the time where boy bands and pop stars, you had to go all out. And I really hope that Justin does hold some regret for that, and that he actually does fully understand the situation now. I mean, I read the comments after I saw the backlash, and part of me felt sorry for him because nobody should be that brutal. But on the other hand, you have to think that a girl's life was in danger. So let's keep that in mind as well.